Happy Odin's Day. Happy New Rune Day. So before discussing the new rune for the week to come, should have some reflection on the past week. I think it's fair to say that there's been a certain amount of female energy, as Berkano suggests, in particular activities at the weekend where Heathens of Kent, we attended the Kent Gorsedd open ritual for the autumn equinox, where Kent Gorsedd is very much at least female dominant group, and the ritual in itself was aimed at the Mother Earth aspect, which for us, or for me, really is a representation of Yord and other things going on. The most important thing for us with our building friendship with Kent Gorsedd was to reaffirm that in some respects by the presentation of a gift, which again, if we follow female empowerment or feminine power, was something undertaken by my wife with great skill, artistic skill and intention and hard work that I do not wish to diminish in any way. It's something she did for us to give to them. The other thing I guess I want to add is, if we go by the old Norwegian rune poem, obviously the second sentence is Loki bore treachery's fortune, and this is something that I feel is or has some relevance as the debates or the stance continues to play out as a debate, where we're taking a stand against a potential incursion by the AFA, the Asatru Folk Assembly, acknowledged and recognised hate group that supports white supremacy in the UK. And as we are seeing is, everyone is entitled to free speech and free will to choose as you will. And this also includes the responsibility to, challenge people's free will and free decision making. This is what really is the heart of democracy, debate, and what sets the divider between good and bad, or positive and negative, light and dark, however you wish to choose it. We because there is free will and free choice, which are good things. There's always going to be the people who favour unfavourable things, such as white supremacy. I don't understand it myself. I'm not supporting it. I can acknowledge that people are free to, have their thoughts. It's also free speech and responsibility to stand against something like that. And when someone doesn't when they refuse to answer, or they choose to alter a debate or attempt to alter a debate, then they really say a lot about themselves rather than addressing the actual issue. And this is where I can see or feel the influence of Loki, perhaps. It isn't necessarily a bad thing in itself. It is a dynamic. It is our responsibility to keep a debate on track. People will always want to throw in, well, if this, or, well, if that. And as I have found for myself quite a lot recently, it's a case of maintaining ifs do not serve any purpose other than distraction from the point. And as has been the point is, we want to stand against the AFA, trying to establish a presence in the UK. That comes with it a responsibility to explain who they are, what they stand for, and in some way show so that people can educate themselves and not just blindly trust someone, so they can see for themselves that this is what they do, this is what they say about themselves, and there it is, by their words, by their hand, what they represent. And then, of course, you can choose to take a side or not take a side. So, Berkano has shared its influence, its power, and I will later, as I disconnect from it and connect to the new rune, give my thanks, because I am always looking to explore those connections, those exercises of power that the runes possess in how they interact and influence my life and the lives around us. So let's address the new rune before my camera slips away. Oh, my life. This is what happens when you mention Loki. Things misbehave or worse. It looks like it's standing still now, until it doesn't, when I'm not looking, and there you go. Terrible video, because the cameraman is not doing their job properly. So next, new rune, following Swain Plowright's rune primer first, Awaz, horse. This is another one that only has an Old English rune poem. A horse. Horse is, before warriors, the joy of noble folk. A horse hoof proud when the warriors around it, wealthy on steeds, exchange speech. And it is to the wanderer ever a benefit. Interesting. Just that last sentence just brings to mind Odin on Sleipnir. So the key words, according to Lisa Chamberlain in her Runes for Beginners: changes, faith, loyalty, trust, movement and travel. The shape of Awaz is symbolic of the horse, revered as a sacred animal in the culture of the ancient Germanic tribes. This rune represents the qualities of faith, loyalty and trust, all necessary to a successful relationship between a horse and its rider. I want to add to that, obviously on the back of the past week with Berkano, that as heathens of Kent seem to be gaining momentum, our symbol is the horse, a white horse, which is powerfully symbolic for Kent. Not necessarily from a heathen perspective, but it is still a powerful symbol for Kent, and we have a gathering this weekend. Again, you can take that as a coincidence or not. It's to be noted and of interest that, you know, these are dots you can join together really, really easily. They don't require brain power. So we'll see what happens. There are some other things going on as well. The weather's turned. Feels like autumn has gone. Haha, you had your little fake summer, now autumn is here. That seems to be something very much has been on my mind for what has been quite a wet summer, and the fact that it seems that our fall has not been too far away. There are some other things going on like that are in the future that I'm getting myself involved in, but that'll be after the next new rune day. So enough waffle. Sadly only one old rune poem, but it is a very interesting rune to happen at this time. Horses abound and fate intervenes. Thank you for watching. Sorry about the cameraman, the camera person. You know, sometimes things just don't want to stand still. Wild horses even. Cheers for watching. Goodbye.